What's up, everybody? Giancarlo here with Bad Beats. Today, I'm here with Juha. Juha just recently got top four at the PPG qualifier in Visalia, California. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Hi, man. And I'll be honest, man, I'm a little jealous because you got the first top with King Piccolo. I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping I could grab that top, but why did you choose this deck?
Honestly, for that reason, I wanted to be the first person to top with King Piccolo.
Dang, okay, I feel you. Yeah, me and you, we've been private messaging the past few weeks talking about how good this deck is. We've been in a group chat with a few other members of the community. I love this deck. I've been on this deck. I've been playtesting the hell out of it, and I know you've been doing the same. So, first, let's get this out of the way. Promos, they're clearly not in your list. You just didn't have access to them, or they weren't legal.
I didn't have access to them.
Yeah, because
They're
this
like they were like 70 something dollars on the day of release. So I'm like, I'll just wait.
Right, and this was what 2 days after the pack dropped, right? So it's pretty difficult to get to
Yeah.
for most people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
On
I know obviously moving forward, once you get the promos, you're gonna put them into the build, right?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Especially the junior negate.
Oh yeah, yeah, that card's amazing. I actually just got mine in the mail today, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Nice. I actually ordered two,
Yeah,
but I barely ordered them yesterday, so I won't be getting them for a while, for like a week or so.
exactly. Okay. So let's get into the deck a little bit. We'll talk about basically just some of the more basic plays, some of the choices. Now, first things first, the leader. Starting with six life, did you ever feel like you were in a huge disadvantageous position because you only started at six life?
Only when I play against Dark Broly or Red Broly or some kind of aggro deck. But if I'm playing against something that's not hyper aggro, it's never really that big of a handicap because once you're awakened and once you're set up, it's very rare that you take damage unless you want to take damage. So
Mm-hmm.
even though you're at usually at like 5 or 6 life for most of the game.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I've actually played games where I stayed at seven life. So if you don't know, the leader when he awakens, he draws three cards and then he puts the top card of your deck into your life. So you do gain a life. So I've had games where I've been at seven life the entire game, and like you said, man, it's just sometimes it's really hard to push damage on this leader. So um, I guess let's just start with the basic cards. You have the Demon Clan package. When you combo with them from life with your leader ability, you can summon them. We got drum, cymbal, and tambourine. Which one did you feel like was the best one? Which was your favorite one to
Tambourine,
play?
what? Tambourine 100%.
Yeah,
It's like not even close. And I think Bandai knew how broken Tambourine was by making it unique.
yeah, yeah, pretty clearly. So other than your one drop, he's the only one with unique. Um, like you said, it's pretty much for that reason. When he attacks, if you have a card under your unison, or if you have three face-up cards in your life, he untaps himself and gains 5K. So he swings for 20K. Combine that with your four drop King Piccolo. He swings. He's a dual attack 40K. I think that's pretty nice. Symbol is your card draw, right? You're drawing cards, and then drum. I mean, realistically, drum is better defensively because he's a barrier blocker, but we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't really play defense in this deck too often. I don't think, you know.
Yeah, drum is the one that I play on my opponent's turn. Cymbal and tambourine are the ones I play on my turn.
Exactly, exactly. Um, I'll just ask you a couple more questions, then we'll get into your matchups. I see you're playing the Bardock fighting against Fate, zero energy, six overwhelm, dual attack, 25K. How often were you closing out the game with this?
Um, I any game that I drew it, I played it, and any game that I played it, I won with it.
All right, yeah, makes sense, bro. I've had this issue where I'm playing games and then like I win, and then I still have like four more attacks that I can do. So
Dude,
it's like,
exactly. That
yeah,
always happens.
yeah.
Always happens. You have like evil dictator. You still have two more
Yeah.
swings with him. You have like more tambourine swings. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, man, I could have attacked five more times, but I already won the game, so I don't get to show off how cool my deck is. We have new
Exactly.
ruler.
No, literally.
Yeah, go ahead.
Literally, I was telling people, I'm like, oh, this deck can do like 13 attacks on like turn 3 or turn 4,
Yeah.
and like people didn't believe me, and then like I showed them, and they saw me play with it, and they're like, oh, damn, that deck really can attack a bunch.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially. Yeah, and then I mean we have cards like New Ruler. which plays itself for 0 energy and it's a double striker. One of my favorite things about New Ruler is that you can evolve your 4-drop King Piccolo onto it. So you can basically play your 4-drop for 1 energy. You still get his effect.
I
It's
do
very
that.
nice.
I do that every game. I do that
Yeah.
as that's like my favorite combo.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can also you evolve on the 1-drop when you can, but you don't lose anything when you evolve over the new ruler because new ruler is going to banish himself, but you just get over that effect with the 4-drop. Now,
Exactly.
I would say, most of the stuff in the deck, it's a little self-explanatory once you look at it. The reason we play the Piccolo Dependable Warrior Piccolo Super Combo is because it's a Namekian, right? You can search it with
Yeah.
a bunch of different cards from your deck. Has synergy with your leader. So I'd say
It
that's
was honestly it was my most searched card off of the 4-drop.
yeah.
Whenever I did the new ruler, I swung with it and then I evolved the 1-drop over it to pump up the tambourine by 20k. I would almost all the time just grab a super combo.
Oh yeah. No, I do the same thing, right? And so the extra cards we got triple Violent Rays. I mean, we know Violent Rays is good, right? Dark Broly, Red Broly. I mean, there's other decks that
Exactly.
hits too, but that's like pretty much your two main. The reason you play Violent Rays is for Dark Broly and Red Broly, right?
Exactly 100%.
Yep. And then for Attack of the Demon Clan, this card is absolutely amazing. Um, I mean, how often were you playing this? Was this like an MVP or was it kind of just something you would end up charging?
That card is insanely busted, dude. There's
Yeah.
literally a loop that you can on turn 3. There's a loop with 3 energy. You can get off multiple tambourines, Evil Dictator, New
Hmm.
Ruler, and Overwhelm Bardock, plus all your other dudes, just because of Attack of the Demon Clan. Attack of the Demon
Yeah.
Clan was literally the best card in the deck, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, without Attack of the Demon Clan, you can't do the double Evil Dictator. But with Attack of the Demon Clan, you can do the double Evil Dictator. And uh,
Exactly.
I don't know. I want to summon 2 Evil Dictators in a turn. I don't know about anyone else, but I agree it's pretty good. And then we have the new Piccolo Junior Unison. Bro, this card is amazing. I love this card. And he is really, really hard to kill, especially once you have the promos. Was anyone ever able to clear him?
One of my opponents, Marcus Cantarsi, he was actually one of the few people that was able to clear it.
Yeah.
The Sin Shenron, almost every player that I played, I think it's just a habit when you see a unison, you get it down to 1 marker and then you feel you're safe. So all my opponents got it to like 1 marker and then they just ignored it. And then next turn it was at like 5 markers because of the symbols and the +1 and putting
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
units under it.
Yeah, he comes out at 4 counters, and then again, I know you're not playing the promo, but the promo says the promo is a negate attack. If you have a unison that costs 2, 0 energy, negate the attack, play the card. So he comes out at 4 markers. You have a Yamcha and you have a 0 energy negate. He's very, very easy to protect. Very easy. Um, Tell me a little bit about your matchup, starting from round 1 all the way to top 4.
Okay, so round 1 was against Mecha Frieza.
Hmm.
And honestly, I remember talking to my friend about this earlier before the tournament. I'm like, I think Mecha Frieza's not. He was telling me, he's like, oh, dude, I'll just tap down like, if I'm playing Mecha Frieza against King Piccolo, I'll just tap out all your stuff. And I remember telling him, I'm like, that's not that big of a deal in King Piccolo because you don't really use your energy for much. You
Yeah,
literally only use your energy to go into like Evil Dictator to the Attack of the Demon Clans
yeah,
or to evolve over the 1-drop. Like once you're set up, you're just free playing dudes from your life. You're free playing your new rulers and stuff. So I too owed my Mecha Frieza opponent. It was
did
very easy, honestly.
did the
It felt like a very
Yeah, did the Unison put in a lot of work? So the Unison auto, when your opponent activates a counter, choose something with 15k power or less from their field and KO it. I'm assuming that came up a lot because they play so many counters.
yeah, I did. But
Yeah.
the card that I wanted to KO the most was actually the Poutine, but it has
Uh huh.
barrier. So
Oh yeah. No, Poutine is certainly annoying, but at least you KO Chappelle. I mean, Chappelle is also super annoying.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then the one game he actually managed to get Salzino out, but I had
Mhm.
3 drums on the field.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that's one way
like
to deal with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so King Piccolo just pressures too hard for Mecha Frieza to do much, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I see that. Okay, so round 1 was a 2-0. What about round 2?
Round two was against Mono Blue Baby, and I actually tested this matchup. This was actually coincidentally the first game I ever played with King Piccolo.
Hmm.
And I played against my friend, and I completely destroyed him because the Unison basically turns off that whole deck.
Yeah, I could see that. The
So that was
floodgates weren't a problem or anything. I because the let's see, the Gohan 3 drop and the Vegeta Ready to Rumble, were those ever an issue? Just swinging through those or what?
I did get I just for the Gohan, I just literally just kept attacking because my hand was so big and I just didn't care.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was just
Gohan's discard too, isn't it?
it's discard one.
Okay, so you can actually just discard a Demon Clan and then use your symbol's ability to put it
Actually,
under your
yes,
unison.
exactly. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
That's literally exactly what I did. So that
Yeah.
was an easy matchup. And I actually brought out the SCR against him on my turn three. He
Hmm.
had three energy open, and I brought out the SCR preemptively
Hmm.
just in case he brought out his like unison next turn. I could just clear it like the turn after. So it
Okay,
discouraged him from my
so you were playing the Kai SCR.
yes.
Okay, okay. So I don't have that on the list, but so side note, he was playing the Kai SCR. Yeah, that's the same one I play. That card's amazing.
It is. Actually that card came really good. Apart from round one, I played it literally every round.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's like a for one energy, it like maybe negates one or two attacks as a 40k attacker, and then clears the board for another energy. I don't know what else you want out
Yeah.
of a super rare. So okay, blue
Exactly. It's a
baby.
one drop four.
Exactly. Yeah. No, a lot of the times I just attack with it. I'm like, all right, play it, swing. I don't even use its abilities so most of the time. Yeah.
I do it just to like kind of make the opponent make weird plays. Like I drop it and
Yeah.
I'm like, I have it. And it's like
Yeah.
you either get rid of it or you lose your board.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So round two, that was quick, easy 2-0. Round three, what happened there?
Oh, that was Sin Shenron. That was another.
Okay.
It's actually funny. So he actually told me, like when the game started, he told me, I think you're missing some life. I'm like, no, my leader starts at sixth life.
Oh, damn. That is so funny. Yeah.
So that was actually pretty funny. But so I play Sin Shenron. That's actually one of my other decks. So I know Sin Shenron inside out. So
Hmm.
I kind of knew like everything in his deck for the most part.
Hmm.
And I literally just went as wide as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And then I just basically I got him down to two life on turn three. I just pressured him as hard as I possibly could. I over comboed on one of my new rulers attacks. I dumped literally four super combos because I wanted this attack to go through
Hmm.
to get him down to two. And then I swung and then eventually I got him down to one and then I won with the piano and I comboed the piano up to like 100 and then he needed five more to survive.
Okay. Nice. Nice. All
And then
right.
game two is actually more difficult because game two now he knew how King Piccolo played, so
Right.
game two was a little bit more difficult. And he was using the Gohan super combo that when you combo it, it KO something five or less. So that caught
Oh,
me
yeah.
completely off guard.
Yeah.
I was
Counter
expecting like
blast.
four.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was expecting four Zamasus or like two Zamasus and like two of the Krillin
Right. Yeah.
uh put back Gronty. So when he KO'd my dude with it, it caught me completely off guard. But the funny thing is, he cited out all of his hazes because he saw that most of my dudes that I was playing were like three drops and four drops. So he didn't see Evil Dictator all game, game one.
Okay.
So he
Yeah.
cited out his hazes. So I ended up winning with Bardock Overrealm.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
No. Hayes is really good in the King Piccolo matchup because you can't really attack with Evil Dictator effectively. So, yeah, that's good that
yeah.
he didn't see it game one.
Oh, and I cleared his board the turn before with the SCR. I
Yeah.
cleared his Unison, his 9 drop, a 4 drop Sin, a Nova, and a TP Natron.
Oh, nice. Yep. Again, Kai Secret Rare coming in hot. Now that
Yeah,
matchup,
it's 250 for a reason.
exactly. Yeah, that matchup's actually one that I find a little bit annoying. So they can, when you attack with your leader, they can play their 4 drop that prevents it from attacking. If it can't attack, it can't awaken. Obviously, 9 drop Sin Shenron's pretty good. Did you ever try to clear their board with your Unison? Because that's generally what I find myself trying to do. The turn
I
I go in
did
for the
game
kill.
one.
Yeah.
Game one, I did. Game one, I pumped up the symbol to 35, and I just did the -2 to clear the board.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Sin Shenron, I think that matchup is a little annoying, but I don't think it's bad at all. So that was a 2-0. How many rounds was this tournament before Top Cut?
It was 4 rounds of Swiss and then top cut.
Okay, so you're 3-0 moving into fourth round. What happens now?
Okay, so I'm playing against Bulma,
Oh,
and
okay.
this is actually my friend. This is actually my friend. So he knows King Piccolo because I basically beat him the night before with King Piccolo. So he knew
Yeah.
the deck. So he was actually one of the people I didn't want to play because it's like Bulma is like really annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, so he topos, and I kill through the topo game 1.
Okay. Yeah, not that hard to do.
Game
Topo is
two.
not that good anymore.
No, not only that, but it's like I discard my demon clan people, and then I
Yeah.
just put them under the with symbol draw. So I just I
Yeah.
keep pressuring.
Yeah.
Game 2 is incredibly difficult. Game 2, I honestly, realistically, only won because of the SCR, because of the unit. He had the Jiren unison and the Gogeta chain. So if I did not have the
Yeah, okay.
SCR, there's no way I was gonna get past that, and we were gonna go into game 3. But
Yeah.
I did have the SCR, and then I managed to clear his like unbreakable wall, and then I just
Right.
went in.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, right? But that is why we play Secret Rares because they win the game. Yeah, Bulma's
Yeah,
another matchup I'm pretty interested in. I think red decks in general. Uh, granted, we've only had like 2 tournament sample size. It seems like Red Broly hasn't really been well represented so far. Granted, again, only 2 tournaments. I feel like we're going to see more of these other red decks, stuff like Launch, Bulma, and King Piccolo.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so you ended up 4-0. That's pretty cool. Now, getting into Top Cut, you played your top 8 match. Is that correct?
It was actually top 4 only.
Okay, so you split right into top 4. And I know you
Yeah.
you, you want to just explain what happened there?
Okay, so I got paired up against Marcus Cantarsi.
Yep.
That was what I wanted. I saw that he was there, and I'm like, I hope I get to play against him, because it's
Right.
like he's a really good player. So I really wanted to see like how I stack up against like one of the best.
Yeah.
So game 1, he beats me really fast, and he caught me completely off guard because he killed me turn 3, and he was playing Mono Blue Zamasu.
Hmm.
And I didn't expect him to kill me turn 3. And then I even told him, I'm like, I didn't expect you to kill me so fast. And he tells me I didn't expect it either. I just
Right.
basically drew like a god hand because he had the Maricham out. Like on turn 2, he managed to get to 4 energy, and he untapped, and he was able to play him. And then he was able to dual attack, double strike me on turn 2, plus the leader. And then on his turn 3, he did 2 of the blue Vegeta Kabas. He still had the Maricham on the field.
Uh,
The Bardock fighting against Fate, plus the 2 Samasu attacks.
okay. Yeah. I also would not have expected Zamasu to be able to win on 3, but yeah. How you said so?
The
It
funny
was
thing
turn
is,
4.
it was turn 3.
How did he play? How did he play the Maricham on 2? I'm sorry.
He did the Zamasu that ramps him to 3.
Yeah.
He sprung and beamed to get, and then no, I don't remember exactly, but he had the Zeno
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I don't
some.
remember the exact, but I remember he got to 4 and then he tapped 4. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what? Turn 2 Obuni, but it was Maricham, which was just as bad, basically.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Maricham having barrier means you can't Yamcha it. You can't neg it with drum. So yeah, barrier is definitely Red's weak spot. It's been that way for a
Yeah.
long time. Okay.
The funny thing is, I had the Violent Raise in my hand, but
Mhm.
I tapped out because I'm like, oh,
Right.
he's just gonna play a unison next turn. He's probably gonna hit me like 2 times. I have like 10 cards in my hand. I have so much defense. I'm fine. I don't need to Violent Raise. I'm playing against blue. He's not gonna kill me turn 3,
Yeah.
and he killed me turn 3. So that was
Dang.
pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so game 1. What happened game 2?
Game two, because I played a lot more defensively this time. Like I
Yeah.
still did my typical plays,
Mm.
but instead of rushing him like I normally do, like everybody, I just built up as many like drums as possible, just on the off chance that it's like, okay, I noticed that he doesn't really have outside of his unison, he didn't really have like blue doesn't really have like board removal outside of like Zeno and stuff. So I'm like I'm just gonna build up my board and slowly whittle him down instead of trying to rush him. I'll like gradually build up my board, and that's what I did. I kept like on turn four, I played two of the one drop Piccolos just to like get more combo power in my hand, and
Yeah.
I basically had like 6 or 7 life. I had like 13 cards in my hand. I had like 8 dudes on the board, and um, he ended up baby hatching me on like turn five after he cleared. He tapped five on turn five. He tapped five for Zeno. He negged 5 to clear my board,
Hmm.
and then I swing, and I'm like, it's obviously he's gonna baby hatch because who taps out for
Right. Yeah.
five? And he baby hatches me, but I still get my leader effect to replace my life. So I'm set up for his turn to rebuild my demon clan people.
Yeah.
And then I bring out my SCR next turn. While he's in his battle, he
Yeah.
swings. I do attack of the demon clans plus my leader effect to get 2 dudes on board,
Hmm.
and I do my unisons activate battle to bring out the unison, and then I just so this discourages him at this point from even making a board because he knows he's going to get cleared,
Hmm.
and then I eventually just keep bringing out more dudes. At this point the game got to turn like 6, so he literally started charging his heroic prospects because they're useless at that point. And then
Yeah.
I actually ended up winning with Evil Dictator. That was actually the one time Evil Dictator won me the game because
Yeah.
every other game I ended up winning with like a buffed up tambourine or something.
Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, and then the evil dictator does have deflect, so he gets around the god sealing trunks. So that card's
Yeah.
definitely pretty important in blue. Okay. And then you
And
said so. Yeah, after game two, you guys actually ended up just splitting, or what happened there?
so basically we went into time because we went into time in the middle of like game two. I actually ended up winning in time.
Right.
So then I told him, you know what, bro, I have my invite already. Just you could just take the games, just say you won. And then he ended up splitting with the guy that got second, and then so
Mm. Okay.
basically he ended up getting first, last, second, and then I ended up getting third, and then yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I see. So basically, giving him the invite. That's pretty cool, man. So let's get into let me scroll down and we'll get into the sideboard. Okay, so Black Mass saying obviously that's a card that you don't want to see played against you. Did anyone ever side it in against you?
They did, but I didn't see it actually played on me. But if they did, I had what I do when people do mass saying is I just bring out the drum, I take the neg two, and I just neg the dude off the board forever.
Right, yeah. Or you just kill it with your Unison's auto.
Or that.
It's really not that big of a deal unless they can play like
Exactly.
multiple. What did
Oh
what
yeah, that yeah. If you get out multiple, then yeah, that kind of sucks.
Right, but yeah. So I mean, Black Mass saying in general is just a pretty good card. Did you side it in against Mecha or anything? Did you bring it in at all?
Okay, so if you look at most of my side, I made most of it for 2 decks, Red
Hmm.
Broly and Dark Broly.
Okay.
And I didn't really side it in against any of the decks that I played against.
Yeah.
So I never actually came up where I actually sided in the Dark Power Black Messiah.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty reasonable. We have let's see, Shu. What is this guy? He negates a one drop, right?
He's a counter. He's like a denial of hope for like a 1 drop.
Okay. Was that useful at all?
No, it was literally there for Red Broly. I didn't play a Red Broly. It was literally there for like to counterplay the TP and try and slow them down to try and like establish your board without letting them get the TP out. You know.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. The King Pick. This is like one of the quote unquote silver bullets against blue. Did you sided in against
I
blue or what?
I sided it against Baby, and it got counterplayed to the bottom of my deck every time I played it.
Yeah.
So it did its job. It made it out a counterplay, I guess.
Yep.
It
Uh,
didn't do the job that I wanted it to do, but it did something.
exactly. Yep. King. So 5 seconds to eradication. I actually really like this card. So it has deflect and barrier, right?
Yeah.
And then it can't be blocked. And if he's also a double strike, so it can't be blocked. And then when you attack with it, if your opponent negates it, you can add a card from your life to your hand to deal 1 damage. So this guy is basically like uninteractable. I'm dealing the damage to you. You're not stopping this attack. I think it's really good against blue. It's also really good against mecha. It's also pretty good against green. So I think this card has a lot of utility in the sideboard. Did you bring it in at all against any of those decks?
I did actually, and another thing, you can search it off of
Oh yeah, big
because
time.
it's a red Namekian, so you can
Mhm.
also search it in the deck. And yes, I did bring it in against a bunch of different decks.
Yeah.
I actually sided it in against every deck except Sin
Yeah. Okay.
because it's good. If the 9 drop didn't bloodlust it, it would be amazing in the Sin matchup. But
Mm. Well, it has barriers, so I don't think they could bloodlust it.
no, yeah, because no, the 9 drop ignores barrier.
Oh, does he? Okay. Well, that's my fault. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Let's see. Dark Vanisher. This is for Dark Broly, obviously, but you didn't play any, so I'm
yeah.
guessing you inside it in. And
No.
additional Yamcha. Sometimes the third Yamcha is just good. I'll say this Dark King Flash, right? This is pretty obviously for Sin. Did it prevent him
Yeah.
from using his ability, or did you just win before he got to 6 energy?
Both. I actually
Okay.
played it on my turn five. I played it on my turn 5.
Yeah.
So if the game had made it to turn 6, he wouldn't have been able to use the effect. But I
Yeah.
killed him that turn anyway.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then Bardock, this is a card I really wish we could main board, but because we don't play anything that inherently deals damage, we can't summon him. However, if your opponent deals damage to themselves, like let's say Dark Broly or Red Broly's leader effect, you can just summon him for 0 energy. So, I mean, I'm guessing that was the thought process behind that.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, and then he's just really good in general against a lot of
Also, he
different decks.
against Mecha too, because they take
Yeah.
life to activate the counter. It's like, oh, here's Bardock.
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes any leader that just takes their own life. You're like, okay, Bardock, and then Red Broly really can't clear it off the board, so he's definitely safe there. Same thing with Mecha, right? Mecha, the turn it's played, they're probably not going to be able to clear it because they've already used their one extra card for the turn. So yeah, this is a
Exactly.
great sideboard card. All right, man. Well, that's pretty awesome. Again, I have to say I'm jealous that you got the first King Piccolo top, but congratulations.
Honestly, I wouldn't have done it without you because
Yeah.
I thought King. At first, I thought King Piccolo was just gonna be like a fun deck, like it's gonna be like my Garlic Junior deck of the
Oh yeah.
block or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like I talked to you more, and it's like, oh no, King Piccolo is actually really good. And then I just was beating all of my friends with King Piccolo. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this to this event and see how I do with it.
Yeah. No, I definitely think King Piccolo is poised to be. If I had to put it in a tier, I would say 1.5. I really would. If we see less Red Broly, then it definitely has a strong chance. I think it's in an overall really good spot. As long as Red Broly doesn't return to the meta, it has a pretty good shot of being pretty high up there. That being said, what have you been playtesting against? I mean, we'll kind of just talk about the deck in general for a little bit. Have you playtested against Turles at all?
No, I haven't, but that deck feels like it. In theory, it feels like it would be a very easy matchup for King Piccolo, just because you awaken turn 1 and then you
Yeah.
just kind of go off from there.
Yeah, that is
I've played
the
against.
biggest advantage. Yeah,
I've play tested against Sin, against Dark Broly,
yeah,
basically everything but Red Broly because none of my friends have Red Broly. So
yeah. Red Broly is very very hard. I'm like 2 wins and 8 losses against Red Broly. Dark
I
Broly.
remember.
Yeah, Dark Broly, though, I don't think is horrible. Because we play Violent Rays and because our deck is so inherently defensive, it's not that hard to just not die. And then, Dark Broly only has like so many cards in hand that they can use defensively, right? You'll generally have
Yeah,
about
exactly. No, there's
Go ahead.
if you get the Tambourine Evil Dictator loop going, if
Yeah.
they don't have protection, the people you can just kill Dark Broly like turn 3.
Yeah, yeah, because they basically like they can't. In the same vein that like you can't out combo a 30k, you can out combo a 30k once, right? You can out combo a 40k once, but then like the second time and then the third time and then the fourth time, they're not going to be able to out combo all that, and they generally don't have that much counterplay, so we can kind of just do whatever we want. Again, though,
Exactly. Like the one card I fear most in the Dark Broly matchup is Protector of the People because
yeah.
that's like the only real thing that they have that can stop you.
Yeah, that is very true. But even then, I've had games where they played Protector, and it's like I'm still attacking with the 40k. So it's like your leader goes to 20, but I'm just at 40. So it's the same way, right? Because if we violent raise and then they Protector, and then we violent raise again, and then they have it's like we play like very similar game states almost, you know. But I don't
Yeah.
think it's overly favored in either direction. I think it's just like a pretty decent matchup overall. Probably
It's
like
basically comes down to a pilot.
yeah, basically pilot dependent. I would agree there. But yeah, man, I guess other than that, is there anything else you want to say?
Um, Honestly, I can't wait to try the deck out with the TPs. It's gonna right now. It's kind of difficult. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna take out for the TPs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I got my list on lock.
Everything was like really everything did its job. So it's like
Right.
I have to change ratios around and stuff and try to see what I'm gonna take out, what I'm gonna like cut, what I'm gonna reduce the numbers to be able to fit the TPs.
No, that makes sense, right? Okay, bro. Well, other than that, man, I just want to say thank you for being on, man, and again, congratulations.
All right, thank you for having me.
Hi, man.